of sports. Truly special event next Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports. And the field still behind the pace car, working their way around the track while the USAC officials and safety crews try and scrub the track clean of any oil that may have been laid down in the last few minutes. Let's go down, Jack.
Well, I'm with Teresa Fittipaldi, whose husband is leading this event today. And Teresa, you said just before we went on the air, I think today is Emerson's day.
I think so. He deserves. He's really excited.
Now, every time he comes by, you've rested here on your perch and haven't moved at all. And when he goes by, you take your hand and you just go like that. What's that about?
Means energy, positive. Gives him some energy.
Now, there's another story that every time Emerson comes into the pits, you whisper something to him, although you're 15 feet away from him. What is that?
Means energy. Means good luck.
Good luck, and they certainly hope they have plenty of it, at least enough to last for this race, Paul Page. Now, let's check in with Brian Hammonds, who is with Carl Haas.
Carl Haas is sitting on the scoring stand, charting the race for his drivers, Mario and Michael Andretti. Carl, you've got to be happy with where you're sitting with Michael.
Well, yeah, we had some problems with Mario, which is not too good. Michael's not sitting in a bad spot. He's obviously Fittipaldi's able to run a little quicker. But I think we still have a fighting chance with a little bit of a luck. Hope we can hold in there and get a chance at it at the end.
Michael happy with the way the car's running?
Well, I guess he's fairly happy with the way it is. I'd like a little more speed, but it's okay.
Well, Haas, right now, his driver's sitting in second place. Now let's go to Jerry Punch.
Well, gentlemen, an anxious wife waiting here in the Al Unser Jr. pits. That's Shelley Unser. And Shelley, you've seen this act so many times, and how will the scene finish? I know Little Al has won on road courses and street courses, but he's yet to get that first oval track win. I know, can you wait for the final 55 laps?
I wish I knew the answer. At least we got our lap back. We're now on the same lap as the leader, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. You want some, Rick?
You're talking on the radio with Rick Gallis, the owner here, and the rest of the crew. Do you think Little Al has something left he can handle, Emo?
I don't know. Emo's running awfully quick. You just never know at this race what's going to happen. And, there's so many things that enter into it, fuel and tires, and I'm just back here keeping a lap chart, so I wouldn't be able to tell you any of that.
Shelley Unser, her heart pounding, watching husband, Little Al Unser.
Well, when they come back, Al Unser Jr. has 10 cars between him and the second-place car of Michael Andretti. We'll be back with more coverage of the Indy 500 after this message and a word from our ABC stations. We're back live at the Indianapolis 500. The green light just winked on once again, and Emerson Fittipaldi has jumped out in front again. Now, that white debris that you see spraying about the track is part of the reason for the very long yellow. It's not a problem on Emo's car, but it is some oil dry late on the race course to pull the oil off the circuit and make it safe to race.
It certainly is, Paul, and everybody wonders, is it slippery or is it easy to get a hold of? It is definitely slippery.
On board second place, Michael Andretti.
But it's not nearly as slippery as the oil itself is. It's the lesser of the two evils, but the guys will avoid it, the drivers, as much as they can.
Michael Andretti, now that white oil dry is coming off of the second turn. Let's just watch as he rolls through it, Bob.
Okay, he's coming out of turn one, going in. There's the oil dry starting there. You notice how Michael went in extra low to avoid it. He's running the slower cars to clean it all off so he doesn't have to run it.
150 laps are complete. Just 50 to go now. 125 miles of the Indianapolis 500 left to be tested here on the Brickyard, the 2.5-mile speedway. Al Unser Jr., he runs in third place. He is 6 seconds behind the leader. He had 10 cars between this machine and that of Michael Andretti. He's trying to catch up that distance now.
Al's got traffic, Paul. He's quite a ways back in the pack. You notice all the cars that he's going by, and that's really hurting him a little bit because Emerson Fittipaldi, right there on the screen, is in clean air. He has no traffic. He's setting sail hard right now.
And you will notice when you see the onboard pictures of Little Al's car that he has a liquid crystal display on the dash in front of him. The drivers here at the 500 for the very first time actually have a speedometer. He can look down and know exactly how fast he's going. In the past, they've had only tachometers, which give him a relative idea of speed, but now there you can see that's his tachometer, which is a graph now on the car that shows exactly how fast the engine is turning.
That's part of a system, Paul, that gives you complete information on anything they want to know about this car. It's the new computer age that we live in.
Well, in fact, here we have a schematic of the dashboard of the Lola car, which Michael Andretti is driving. It has a sort of Star Wars look to it. The key is that it's computerized, got digital readouts rather than conventional analog instruments. Pretty neat looking stuff.
Sam, they really don't look at those either. What they do is try to glance at them when they come off the turn. What they're doing down the straightaway to the end of the straightaway is non-important at all to the drivers.
Bobby, have you determined, is there a preference for this or the old analog dial system where they used to point the dials so that when everything was pointed straight up, everything was perfect? Which do the drivers seem to prefer?
Oh, they would all like the hand, Paul, but they can't get away from the new computer technology. That instrument tells them so much, like what their fuel mileage is, how much they have left. It's a complete computerized system for the car.
Michael Andretti now closing down on the leader, Emerson Fittipaldi, and gets past. So Michael Andretti picks up the lead of the Indianapolis 500. Emerson seemed to falter for just a second and slowed down just a bit. So now here is Michael coming to the line, scored in the lead once again. He just turned the last lap at 215 miles an hour and has picked up the lead, and you can see that Emo seems to be falling a bit behind.
Well, he certainly is, and there's got to be some reason for it. It's going to show up before too long. Now, I'm not saying Michael's not going fast. He's been one of the best handlers all day, handling through the turns good. But he's been a little bit shy on speed compared to Emerson Fittipaldi. Now, if he wanted to wake Emo up, he's done it already. We'll have to see.
So Michael Andretti overhauls the leader, Emerson Fittipaldi. Again, the battle is at the front of this high 500-mile race field. Most of the top 20 are not truly in contest with one another. We'll keep our eyes open for battles back through the pack. Let's go back here a couple of laps and take a look at Michael Andretti as he closed on the leader, Emerson Fittipaldi. Here they come, Bobby Unser.
It's most likely that Emo, remember, he just got new tires a little while back. It's most likely that he's got his stagger just a little bit wrong, not handling quite as good. Or maybe Michael got his stagger good, and he's working better than he was earlier.
Michael Andretti, here's the onboard camera view of the same situation a couple of laps ago as Michael just came inside of Emerson Fittipaldi and right on down into the turn and out in front. Let's go to the pits, Jack.
Bobby Unser, you're absolutely right as far as the stagger situation on the race car of Emerson Fittipaldi. He's developed a slight push, the first he's had all day. So he's had to back out of the throttle just a tad, and that accounts for the pass by Michael Andretti.
These cars are so finely tuned, Jack and Paul, that when they get the stagger off just a little tiny bit, there's nothing you can do about it in the stagger. Now, what's happening is they're turning 216 and 217 miles an hour laps, and that again is awesomely fast.
Remember, back at the start of this race, we talked about these kind of terms, showed you definitions. Stagger means that the right rear tire is slightly larger and just minutely larger than the left rear. Now, Goodyear provided two staggers here at the track, but they can still augment that slightly by putting a little more air in the tire and trying to get it to grow just a little bit more. Stagger helps the car turn into the corner, but if they have too much stagger, then the car turns in a little too fast, and then it becomes loose. Another definition that we had earlier, which is to say the back end wants to swing out and all the way around.
Absolutely right, Paul. It's a good explanation, and there is approximately 1-inch difference. And yet, at these kind of speeds, that's the world. That's the big thing.
And the key question, of course, is what is going on in Emerson Fittipaldi's mind? And I think what you have to understand is he can't try any harder than he's trying now. A driver can only do so much in these cars, and when you have that push condition, you just have to ride it out to the next pit stop. Very frustrating for him. He's got to desperately gamble that a yellow is going to come out, or he's going to lose enough ground that it could be decisive in this race.
We were talking earlier, too, about the PC-18s and the fact that 3 of them are already out, and do the design problems that may exist on some exist on others. You must remember that it was the Patrick Racing Team that first identified the possibility of a real rear cowling coming off, as happened with Danny Sullivan. They changed the fasteners to avoid it. Apparently, they've also noticed some other situations and made improvements on those as well. So at the Indianapolis 500, we watch them give the board to Emerson Fittipaldi.
216-mile-an-hour lap. Not up to his 218 he was running earlier. Not far off.
So Emerson Fittipaldi still is chasing Michael Andretti at the Indianapolis 500 as they seesaw back and fourth in the lead. We'll be back with more at the Indy 500, the 73rd